Holy crap, I'm trying not to swear.
Welcome to the channel. In this video, you're going to get my raw first impressions of the brand new Meganex Superlight 8K MicroOLED VR headset, which you can pre-order now. And in this video, you're going to get my first raw reaction of trying this headset for the first time. It was a huge pleasure to meet TK, especially as he flew all the way from Tokyo to the UK to meet me. So let's just quickly talk about the specification first. It is a 4K per eye micro OLED display with a 10-bit color depth of 95% DCI-P3 coverage, and it currently has a 90Hz refresh rate. However, there is possibility of a 75Hz refresh rate coming as well in software. It has custom-made pancake lenses which are produced by Panasonic in-house, which are electronically adjustable with an IPD range of 58 to 72mm. The Meganex also has a diopter adjustment for each lens, and I really like how they're placed at the bottom of the headset like an IPD adjustment slider, which means you can adjust it whilst looking inside the headset. It is lighthouse track, so you're going to need one base station for this, which is fine for flight simulation. And of course it has a DisplayPort connection, which means you're going to get seriously impressive visuals. Now, just to put that into perspective, the resolution of this is very similar to that of the Vario XR4. That's the kind of sharpness we're going to see here. Well, hopefully in my first impressions review. And as you can see here, it has a very cool, interesting form factor, very much like the Big Screen Beyond, with a soft strap, but this time it's a halo design. But it does have some unique tricks up its sleeve because the hinge at the top can flip right up and lock into place. Also, a massive shout out to Sebastian over at MRTV because I needed some extra B-roll for this video, so thanks for that. But also because he was the one who flew over to Tokyo to check out this headset for the first time and got me in touch with the developer so that I could give you this first impressions and of course later on my full review from a flight sim perspective. So make sure you check out Sebastian's channel in the description below and give him plenty of subs and likes. So the question is, are you ready for my first impressions? Please keep in mind, this is not going to be a really high quality recording because it was a Monday night, it was very late, we just got back from work, I was extremely tired as well, and of course I'm just using a phone to record. But I hope it gives you an impression of what I think about the Meganex. Keep in mind, I only had about an hour and a half with the headset, not using my own computer and software. So this is just a first impressions. But once I receive the final production headset in a few weeks' time, I'll give you my full review. But for now, enjoy my first impressions, and I'll just cut in a little bit as we go through the video so that I can sum up some of my thoughts and impressions as they happen. So here we go.
The problem we've had is the fact that we haven't been able to pair a tiny micro OLED display with a tiny headset until now, because this has both. Such a really nice, very nice lenses. Super excited about these lenses. That's the first thing that's hitting me, is just how crisp they are. Like the eye box, I don't have any problems getting straight into the sweet spot at all. Look at this, look at the pass-through.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
so huge FOV and so huge color.
To be fair,
depth or...
I mean, we joke about it, but
when no delay, right?
But when you can do this,
yeah,
so
of course
quick.
you can see the keyboard and you can see the computer screen on there.
It is so quick.
Yeah.
You can just quickly do what you need to do and then straight back into VR.
Now in terms of the brightness, which I did talk about but you can't really hear it in the recording, well, it's decent enough. It's not going to blow you away, and if you compare it to the likes of the Pimax Crystal, then it's not as bright as that, and it's certainly not as bright as the Somnium VR1. However, you can mess around with the contrast in the software, and they're still finalizing all of that. But I found it okay, and certainly better than that of the Big Screen Beyond.
The right and the contrast.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's made a difference.
Now, one thing I did notice with that hinge design is that it can just take you out of the sweet spot a little bit. Although that sweet spot is pretty damn good, especially when you consider those pancake lenses are very small. They're much better than that of the big screen beyond, without a doubt. But there is that risk of getting out of that sweet spot if you move around too much with that sort of strap. I think for this channel's focus, which is flight simulation, it's never going to be a problem, but it could be an issue perhaps if you're in a motion rig and you're being moved around quite violently. That is something that I will test once I get the final production unit. But let this be clear, overall, I am so impressed with those pancake lenses, and when you're in the sweet spot, the edge-to-edge clarity is really, really impressive. It reminds me of the Quest 3.
Wow. I'm in aircar at the moment, which is a perfect opportunity to showcase the black levels and the rich colours with all these neon lights. It's the perfect showcase for any VR headset, really, especially an OLED panel. And oh my god, this looks incredible. Yeah, this looks really good. I'm impressed. This is really nice. The big deal here is you have that micro OLED, beautiful colours, but you've got the sharpness of that 4K per eye display, and then on top of that we've got great lenses and great form factor. And as I said before, usually I'd be like, this strap, soft strap, not keen on that, but I don't think I even need to mention a top strap, and I mention a top strap on all of my VR headsets because I always think they need them, but this doesn't. Holy crap, I'm trying not to swear. Right guys, so this is the most important feature of the Meganex, okay? So you can see I'm in VR here, and hang on, I really want a coffee. So just flip it up like that, and there you go. No problems at all. How cool is that?
Cheers.
And then just like that, back into VR again. I love that. That's brilliant.
So let me reiterate what I was saying there. Basically, I was trying out Aircar, which is a free demo on Steam, and it's a really good opportunity to look at those deep blacks, but also the really bright neon lights on the side of the buildings. I've tried this particular scene in every single VR headset that you can imagine, including the XR4, the big screen beyond, the Varia Aero, the Pimax Crystal, the Quest 3, and this was the best I've ever seen. It even beats the XR4, simply because this is micro OLED, but with a crazy high specification of 4K per eye. The visuals were absolutely mind-blowing. Now there is some glare, but it's only noticeable in certain scenarios, and long-term viewers of the channel will know that I hate glare, but it's nowhere near as bad as other headsets such as the big screen beyond. And I'm mentioning that headset quite a lot because this reminds me of it, but in terms of those lenses, it is a massive difference, like a generational difference in terms of both the sweet spot and the lack of glare.
It's certainly bright enough for me in terms of persistency as well. I'm not seeing any motion blur, I'm not seeing anything. I know I'm looking a bit crazy doing this, but it's the kind of thing you have to do to test stuff. No mirror at all, which is of course with micro OLED displays you don't get that inconsistency with the pixels. So in terms of sweet spot, it's not like to the edge. I've got to try Microsoft Flight Simulator now, really. I've just got to try that. So now, yeah, I can see a little bit of glare, which is fine. But that is, I'm being really picky. That's not an issue. Not for me. Yeah, I can see the Steam VR. Probably need to be centered again, I think.
I don't know how to.
It's spacebar. First of all,
You can flip it. Flip your head. Flip it.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting to do that.
And now we get to the nitty gritty. What is it like in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020? Well, this is my first impressions and I was so excited to try it, but also a little bit worried because don't forget, I'm not sure if you've seen it on the table, but the computer that we're running is a very tiny little system with a mobile chip and a 4070 Ti GPU. So even though it's a decent GPU, we're driving here 4K per eye display. So for my first test, I tried it at 80% resolution. So in terms of like your warping profile, it's very good. Like it's it's really good. In fact, I will say this is a better warping profile than the Quest 3. Because in the Quest 3 you do get, and not many people know this or they notice it, you get a little bubble, a slight bubble in the Quest 3. The shapes of the menu are staying completely exactly where they should be. So that's good, that's great. That's interesting, so even though it's at 3,267 per eye in this particular case, at 80%, this still looks super sharp. And that's not at native resolution. Wow, that's good. That is good. That is very good. Yeah, so I'm just taking some of this back. Keeping in mind, I'm running on a very sort of, well, I wouldn't say low end, but it's certainly just not designed to be using a flight sim with a high end headset like this. If I was running it at home, this would absolutely fly because that resolution there. I know already that resolution you could run that very well without too much issue with performance overall. So right, okay. And that's one of the special features of pancake lenses is that you don't need such a high resolution. So even though this is kicking out similar visuals to that of the XR4, and I'm not quite sure what the PPD level is, but it's incredibly high. You don't need so much GPU grunt to drive it, which is very useful because unfortunately this headset does not have eye tracking. See here the panel is so pitch black, it's beautiful. And then you've got these bright gauges here as well that really come out of you. And admittedly it's not as bright as an LCD headset or a QLED, of course it isn't. But I would personally take this any day over that, simply because you get perfect blacks. And the lenses, again, I'm going to be talking about the lenses quite a lot, I think, because to me, this is the big deal with this headset, this form factor with these lenses. They do remind me very much of the Quest 3, actually, these lenses. That's a big deal. That is a big deal, because the thing with the pancake lenses is that you don't need to correct for barrel distortion correction so much as the spheric lenses. So that means you're closer to the native resolution of this headset, and that means you get better performance. And that's why, right now, even on this computer, this little computer here, I'm still getting great performance at 80% resolution. It's doing well actually, because this is one base station. Another thing that I'll mention is the fact that I'm just using one base station with this, because I know people are going to moan saying that you need a base station, but honestly, you set it up once and you completely forget about it. And all you need for this type of thing, flight simulation, sat down, look at this, tracking's totally fine, yet one base station will be enough. In terms of price, I've forgotten how much this is going to be. €18.99. I love how, am I right in thinking that's with taxes?
Included tax.
Yes.
VAT. Yes.
Which is something that is refreshing. In many ways, I just love the simplicity of this. The fact that it's just great lenses, display, and form factor. And you've got those absolutely dialed in. You know what? I'm going to say it. I actually would pick this over the XR4. I really would. In terms of resolution, sharpness, colours, you've nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. I think the only things, as I say, that people might find a bit of a struggle, if you're really all about field of view matters to you the most, then you probably will find this not, the vertical field of view not so great. As I say, for me, it's not an issue at all. In fact, it's not like I thought straight away. I actually thought the field of view was very good when I first put it on. I'm just trying to think for those of you out there that might, pick field of view over outright clarity. Just try the eye relief again. As far as I can. See, for those of you who really want to put it right to your eyeballs, the vertical field of view is huge actually. It's at least 103 degrees or more. And as a horizontal wise, it's a sort of Pico 4-ish. And glare for me, you know what I'm like for glare, I hate glare. There is some in this, but it's completely fine, does not bother me at all.
Oh, it's 10 o'clock, wow.
Is it really? 10 o'clock already?
Wow, that's gone quick, isn't it?
Wow. Hang on, let me do it properly. Oh, yeah, I got it. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, honestly, seriously, you've created an amazing headset. You're gonna sell a lot of those. So many people, all they want is a high resolution display, micro OLED, and then they nearly had it before with the big screen beyond, but those lenses were too much. The glare was too much. The sweet spot was too small. Those lenses are very sort of Quest 3-ish, and that is the biggest compliment I can give, honestly, because the Quest 3 is known to have the best pancake lenses. That is so close to that, but in that form factor, yeah, fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Because to be honest, we are a small company.
Yeah.
Just only there are around 30 people. It's a true number. It's like 20. Oh, I'm going to take a seat.
Yeah.
We are a very small team. Just only 25, between the 25 to 30 people.
Is that it?
Yes.
Wow.
And of course, the Panasonic side, of course, Panasonic is a huge company.
Yes, of
but
course.
this division, XL division team, is only 30 people.
Only 30 people.
And Shifto side, Shifto is around 30 people company, but our main product is a full body tracking system for the VR chat users.
Yes.
And this is currently the not main project. So that's why we are cutting off everything. It's like a racing car.
Absolutely.
No aircon, no power steering.
It is. That is a pure race car.
Yeah, no comfortable suspension.
With a laser focus on the two main areas that actually, weirdly, are missing in the high-end PC VR sector. And that is literally, three areas really, and that is micro OLED, which everyone wants micro OLED, and I've been reminded why just by looking at it today. Absolutely stunning. And then the lenses, so important on a headset.
And also we have a happy story because we collaborated with Panasonic. We are related with Panasonic the little bit before.
Yeah.
We have a long story because
Really?
I started my company from 2008, and I sold a part of the company to the Panasonic in 2018. And then we collaborated with one of the subsidiary company of the Panasonic from 2018 to 2023. And then we left from the Panasonic group from the 2024, but then we are still tidying up with the Meganex business.
Relationship.
It's quite good, the relationship, and also we have so many personal relationship with the Panasonic management team.
Yeah.
Because I started my original career after the graduate school. I started my first career of the employee in Panasonic.
Did you?
Yeah. So then we have the long relationship with, of course, in business and also personally. And then we are quite good relationship after leave out from the Panasonic from this January.
I'd love to know that conversation you had, which was clearly just over a year ago, of when you've gone, right, we know the direction we're going to go in VR and XR in the future, but what if we just stripped some of those things out and made this Meganex? Was that how the conversation, you had that vision in your head for,
yes.
for this sort of
unapologetically
PC VR headset at heart, and we've got to do this and this right, and that is it. And,
Okay, to be honest, I'm not a VR guy before the COVID-19. And I met to the VR chat.
So it's VR chat,
I met to the VR chat at the time, and I'm fall in love.
Wow!
In the
I've got to
VR
try it
in
now,
the metaverse in 2020.
Right.
And then after the 2020, we completely changed my company direction from the IoT to the VR devices. Because I believe that space, it's like a VR chat or the VR gaming, is the bring to the much more measure.
Yes.
And also that place and the culture and the people, and then that's the, how do you say, the business.
Yeah.
It's quite the huge possibility, I feel, at the time.
Yeah.
And then I'm purely focusing to the VR. And then, yeah, of course, I tried so many different types of MR or AR applications that from the 2020. But I can't imagine the type of the experience that bring much more bigger or bring much more the deeper. So that, yeah.
So at that time, did you realise that PC VR was, much bigger than that? Like,
Yes.
In simulation
Uh-huh.
and yeah.
Yeah, because of course the all-in-one headset and standalone makes much more bigger, but that area is quite popular, and that I feel at the time that the area means the standalone headset application.
Yeah.
It's a mirror and Pico's area or the HCC at the time.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
they already
yeah.
left from the all-in-one application the field. But so because the HCC is also this huge company, but they unfortunately they left from the all-in-one headset or application platform business. They quite they're quite difficult to compete with the HCC to the middle.
I think every VR manufacturer has a massive hill to climb if they're going to try and go that route with obviously like standalone VR and the library that goes with it and everything else and the aggressive pricing model because obviously their business model is completely different. So for any other manufacturer, I think it's so tough. It is tough. I think that's another reason why you've absolutely done the right thing going this way because there is a huge market out there for this kind of headset. There absolutely is. Am I right in thinking it doesn't have eye tracking?
Yes.
So, but looking at those lenses, there could be a possibility where you could actually add that on in the future. Actually, you never know. But I find that really interesting how it was actually VR chat that got that inspiration.
Yeah, that's the 100% of the inspiration, and also
and COVID. That's one good thing has come out of COVID, and that is the Meganex.
Yes,
which is great.
And then I spend tons of the time in a VR chat. I spend a few thousand hours.
Have you really? Well, I can't talk. I spent thousands of hours in this. So.
And then I heard from so many VR chat users their comment related with their controllers, full body tracking system, and also the headset. This is a HyDrax wireless, our latest full body tracking system.
So that you can combine that with the Meganex now, then?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course, you can combine with
that makes sense,
Meganex and also the Quest 3, Quest 2.
Yeah, because obviously it's Lighthouse.
You can see the black bands. This is our full body tracker.
Right.
I will show you later. Yes. And this is our main business. And then we discussed with so many the VR chat users. And then we completely knows what is the necessity for them.
Yeah. I was about to ask about refresh rates.
We can add the additional 75 or 72. The inner firmware update or software update.
That's great. That will help users, especially with flight simulators. Is there any plans to bring in an OpenXR?
Yeah, of course. We're going to try to support the native OpenXR support, but currently it's only the Steam VR support.
Yeah, cool. Well, I mean, it runs very well anyway in that mode, to be fair.
So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed that little interview at the end. I'm sorry that the audio isn't great, but it was a very echoey space, a very dark room. But I think my first impressions are quite clear. The Meganex Superlight 8K could quite possibly be the best VR headset for 2025, and that is because MicroOLED is the future for VR. I've been saying this for many years now. And I love how this headset focuses on the immediate problems that we have in VR. That is comfort, great lenses, and MicroOLED technology. And with that sharp panel, what more could you possibly want? Perhaps eye tracking, Perhaps inside-out tracking, I get that guys, but that would add to the cost and the weight of the device. Now, some people will be put off by the field of view. I think it's possibly around 95 to 98 degrees horizontal. That's just a guess. Vertically, it is really good, about 103 degrees or more. I don't find that a problem. And the reason is the binocular overlap is absolutely excellent. There is headsets out there that have a better field of view, but the binocular overlap is a lot worse, such as the Quest 3, because Meta basically borrowed their overlap to increase that field of view. The Meganex has not done that, and I would pick a better binocular overlap over a better field of view, but a worse binocular overlap any day of the week. The image feels 3D and true to life, and with those rich deep blacks and the great sharpness of that display, the brightness, whilst not class leading, is enough for me. I feel this could be a very serious contender. Now, if I think of other things that could be a negative, well, it doesn't have integrated audio. The Meganex does have a microphone, but unfortunately I wasn't able to try it in this first impressions. I suppose you could argue as well that the price is very high, but I think if you've got the money, folks, those lenses are worth it. They are really good. And I think the lenses are probably one of the most important parts of a VR headset. That and the comfort. With the MicroOLED technology, this is a very tempting headset. If you enjoyed this first impressions video and you would like to support the channel, I do actually have an affiliate link to pre-order the Meganex Superlight. I'd be very grateful if you use it, because this year has been absolutely insane, and all the hard work on the channel, well, I'm absolutely knackered, quite honestly, and I can't wait to have a break. So if you would like to support the channel, I would appreciate it. This is just the beginning with the Meganex, and I can't wait to really get to know it once I receive the final production unit, so I can try it out with all the major flight sims, lots of different PC systems, and to see what is it like to live with on a daily basis compared to the other VR headsets that I use. So please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. A very Merry Christmas to you all, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care and bye for now.